Do you know how to accept praise and recognition from those around you? Well, let's find out. Hello, and welcome back to part 2 of our interview with Pedro and Cibele. At the end of last episode, Cibele posed this question to us, which made us think very long and hard. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about it and much more. So, let's go. All right, everybody, welcome back to our part 2 of this interview with our very special guests, Pedro and Cibele. And Cibele did have a question for us at the end of our last episode. So, Cibele, could you please ask that question once again so we can get into it?
Yes. So I was talking about changing the mindset of now you are an international teacher or someone that deserves to be on the level that the other one that were your inspiration before not, but continuing being your inspiration. And now you are working with them, and how to change this mindset of, okay, now I can accept this
recognition.
Yes. When you guys change this mindset?
All right. So for me, it was a long process because in a very short summary, my professional teaching career started in Australia. So I went to Australia to learn English, to just study. And when I got there, people started asking me, hey, would you like to start teaching because we want to learn Brazilian dance? And I'm like, I don't know how to teach. Back in Brazil, I was only training to be an assistant. I wasn't really a teacher. And they said, no, don't worry. We're going to be with you. The teachers in the local community offered to train me to become a teacher and all of that. So once I started teaching, I started feeling a little bit more comfortable with giving classes. And the first recognition, I think, came from the students. And I wish that I actually recognized that from the very beginning, because I wasn't accepting the recognition from the students as much as I was getting the recognitions from the students. I wasn't really like, oh, yes, I'm going to use this to push myself to the next level. For me, unfortunately, in the mindset that I was really looking for the recognition of my masters, of the people that I looked up to. So basically, that's my answer. My answer was that back then, it really came to me when I started getting recognition from the other teachers coming to my schools. So I would bring other teachers to teach in my city, in Perth, Australia, when I was teaching there. And those teachers would then tell me, hey, your students are amazing. Your students are some of the best that I've ever taught. So because for me, teaching has always been my biggest passion, that was the recognition. And that was the moment that I started actually accepting. When I was going and getting invitations to events in other cities, I was like, okay, yeah, sure, people enjoy my classes, but am I good? And to me, I only started believing that what I was doing was good enough when I had people that had more experience than me and that I looked up to telling me, your students are great, the job that you're doing is great. I really appreciate and recognize your work. So to me, that's how it happened, basically. But I do wish that I was already accepting and I was already embracing the recognition that was coming also from the students. Because now, looking back, I do recognize that that's more important than anything, because without the students, who are we? So if you're listening to this podcast and you're in the same mindset that I was, please try to balance that out, because your students are more important than the recognition from the other artists. I think what you do with your students, that's how you're going to get to the artists. And now I see that that's what I did, but that wasn't my mindset.
Yeah.
For sure. For me, I'm going to say I'm still struggle with it. Definitely. I think it's hard for us when we have a quote unquote smaller name on the community. But I think I'm getting on the same mindset as Alisson is talking about. And actually, I had a really good experience on that note on one of the last events that we did in LA, that I taught a beginner class with Nayara. And we had about like 6 or 7 students only on the class. very early morning beginner class, nobody is there to take the class and everything. But after the class, having the students come to us and say that this is the best beginner class they ever took on their entire Zouk journey, I think that's for me is the point of recognition of like, yes, you're really doing a great job on your teaching skills. But still, I think the profession that we are right now, it's a lot of egos involved. So we also need to have that external recognition from teachers and organizers and everything for the ego stroke, I think. Don't know if that's the best way to put it, but I think that Alisson is right on the point of like getting the recognition from the students and understanding that you're doing that for them and not necessarily just for us makes a huge difference on the mindset for sure.
Yeah. Thank you for your answer. I don't know if Guy's here to answer too, but for me, the craziest thing that I heard first was when Vanessa from Iago and Vanessa sent me a message like, hey, are you free on September? Because we have an organizer in the US and we recommended you and Pedro. And it was like, you guys recommended us?
Mm-hmm.
What? And then Leticia from Ariel and Leticia did the same thing for us. We are not available on this date, so we recommended you guys. And I was like, Pedro, they are recommended us. Like our icon inspirations of Lambada in that time, Iago and Vanessa was doing like a great job mixing Brazilian Zouk and Lambada. And Ariel and Leticia was like our inspirations for everything. So to have this voice in your mind telling we recommended you, and hear from students too, like totally recommended when someone talk about privates. For us, it's like, yes, we are in the right way, from students, from our inspirations for the organizers as person, as teacher. So it's good to know that we are in the way that is good for our journey. So I totally see the both sides too. From the student, it's very good because our work is from them and for them. So we have to have this good feedback from the student for sure. But this student will bring you more students, and the teachers will bring you more inside the scene and to the organizers too. And once you get to the organizers, they talk with themselves and you get into the organizers. So it's like levels and different ways to get into the scene. So it's important to have this three, I think. You have a good feedback from your student, from your professional friends, like colleagues, and organizers. So it's different, but yes, I totally understood it, totally got it. Yeah.
No, for sure. And I feel the same thing like when I got here to DC for the first time last year. And I'm a DJ also. So we did a weekender here. And during the weekender, Alisson came to me and he's like, oh, I've been listening to your set on repeat on my drive to the workshops. And I'm like, what? Hell yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So I think there's small things, right? It not necessarily needs to be a public post or something on social media or anything, but this small, as you said, for Iago and Vanessa to reach out and like, oh, we're recommending you. You're like, "What?" I think that's definitely a good feeling for us as we're exposing our form of art around the world,
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to be careful with our inner saboteur, because looking at the perspective that we are now, looking for this kind of recognitions, it just makes that inner saboteur talk louder than the reality that we are actually living. And
for sure.
The next thing that I want to ask you guys is, based on everything that you already spoke to us and told us in this and in the previous interview, where do you want to go? Where do you want to be? Where is the place that you're working to get to? How will you know that you're there?
It's very emotional thing to say, because since I was a kid, I danced in my family meetings. I was always the children that makes like theater to the whole family and very artistic. And once I start to grow up, I always thought that I was living abroad if I was living outside my city, I would never go to São Paulo. I always said that I was living abroad. When I talk about this with my cousin that started teaching me English when I was 8. And since then, I have this conversation with my parents, but they never really believe in it because it's like, okay, she's a mini artist and she wants to travel the world. Oh, really? Like, life is not that easy, you know? But this week I called my father and we were talking about the moment that I'm here outside of Brazil working with dance. And then there's something that I always told him that I want to do. And my mom passed away 3 years ago. So she didn't see me achieving this goal. But now we were talking about how much I deserve it. And I'm already living my dream when I was a child. Because sometimes I just forget that the point that I want to achieve, I'm already living this now. It's just to continuing this dream to something bigger or to something like extending it. But I always want to travel the world, to know the world, to spread my art, to dance, to meet new people. So for me, I'm already in that goal, you know? I already achieve it. Achieving is just to continue to keep doing it for, I don't know how many times I need to, but it's something that I was asking for myself after hearing my father said, yeah, you were always like in this plan. You just are doing it. It's just happening right now. And you put a lot of effort, you study a lot. So it's like the result is this, nothing different because this is what you want. And then I started, okay, now I have this goal here and I'm already here. Sometimes I forget that I achieved this goal. So where I want to go, what I want to achieve in my life right now is just to keep going and keep doing my work and keep achieving more and more places and people. And that's it. Just continuing doing my best every day, my best, not comparing like I need to be better than someone, just better teacher, better person, better partner for my partner. So that's why I'm seeking.
All right. So basically, with everything that you've shared with us, how do you think that child, that teenager that was already living the dream, living like a star, basically seeing themselves all over the world, how do you think that helped you get to where you are now?
Yeah, it was not an easy process, like, because when it's about art, there's a lot of concern about if you have a lot of money or not during your journey. And my father and my mom always ask me, okay, do you want to do acting graduation, for example? No, you need to do something that you get money from. And then after it, you do acting, you know? There is something like this because it was art and it's difficult. But I do administration course and work in dentistry and start like 4 graduations. I didn't finish any one of them, but I learned a lot during like 1 year that I made for these 4 universities. So nowadays I look back and I thank this child and this teenager that besides everyone say that there's no hope, because you need to do something else. You cannot work only with this, only with art, only with dance. It's something that you make like a hobby, not as work. So I thank this child and this teenager so much nowadays because thanks for them still believing in, okay, I need to do something else, but this money that I get from here is to put on dance courses and travel and congress and privates and all this stuff. So yes, I have a work who gives me money, but it's just for this moment here to pick this money here and put on dance and put on the effort that I want to work that is with dance. Totally. So wasn't easy to believe in myself that I could do it, but I don't know how. I just feel inside me that I can do it. It's not because someone didn't achieve this goal that I won't achieve it too, or the way that this person made is different from mine, that won't happen. So for me, you have your own story. My story is different from everyone that is listening to. It's different from everyone that is here in this podcast right now. And I can do something that it will work for me and it won't work for Gui, for example. So I need to believe in myself that what I do, I know that is good for myself, my journey, my culture, my story, and I want to do it because I know that it's going to happen something in the future that I believe that much. So keep doing your plan, your own plan. Even if someone said, oh, maybe it's not a good idea because I did and it doesn't work. Yeah, you did and it doesn't work, but I will try. And if it doesn't work, okay, it doesn't work for me too. But if I try and it works, good for me because it works for me. So I always was in this journey of, yes, okay, I appreciate your words for me, but I'll keep doing my own way, you know? Okay, it doesn't matter. I will keep going to this way. So I thank this child and this teenager a lot because they believe in themselves, in what they want to achieve in life, what they were feeling in that moment. And now I see everything like a result of this believing journey. So I'm very proud of myself. Sometimes I look in the mirror. In therapy is very important. I like to do therapy because of it. It's like talking to your child, you know, talking to your teenager, talk with you like when you were younger. And I start crying sometimes because I look inside my eyes and I see that child like, yes, we made it, you know? So I celebrate a lot. It's very important to look to your journey and how much effort you put on your own journey and achieve the goal is like priceless.
I think it's very important to talk about staying focused, understanding your purpose, and knowing what your goal is. Because I don't know how many times in my life I've been called stubborn. You know, like, oh, you're so stubborn. Oh my God, you're just so stubborn. Or you just want the things you want and you don't listen to people. I'm like, well, yes, sure, okay. But now I accept it because, yes, I wasn't listening to people that wasn't supporting my dream. I wasn't listening to people that wasn't believing that I could, because the three of us, we came from the same city and we came from that mentality of like, you're not from the birthplace of the best dancers in the world. So give up. If you don't live in São Paulo full time, if you don't live in Rio full time, what chances do you have? But then you really have to go like, well, I have the chances that I make myself have. I create my own opportunities. I'm responsible for my future. And if it fails, at least I tried. I gave everything that I had and I learned a lot, because we all have heard, or maybe you don't believe in it yet, but I think we learn the most from the things that we don't succeed in. So then we're like, oh, okay, that didn't work and that didn't go well because I said this or because I did that. That's a lesson learned, because so many times when we do succeed in things, we're questioning like, what did I do? And I'm saying this when we succeed in things and we have no consciousness of how we got there. You know, sometimes things just happen. And I also believe in the universe. Once you put that energy, that drive, and that desire, you do attract things. So maybe it's not something that everybody believes, but I'm totally with you on that. Connecting with your goals, connecting with what you want in life. And if you do have people that are questioning your beliefs, in the end of the day, you have to think, do they have what I want? Because if they don't, and they just have a life that I don't want, then I'm not going to listen to them. So then I would go to somebody who does have a life that I want, going back to what you said in the previous episode. And I'm going to go to those people and say, hey, I'm doing this and this and this and this and this. What do you think? Those are the people that I'm going to really listen to. And not just one person, but multiple. Because like you said, everyone's journey is different. So you do need to do a lot of research. Not just in dance, in everything.
Yeah, and even in this person that has the same art in the place that you want to achieve, sometimes they are very negative about one moment specific. You know, like, oh, you want to work with dance? Good luck. You know that you won't be rich, right? You want that you not be something la 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 la, and start talking like negative things. And then you say, okay, I appreciate your words, but I'll try to get money from them. So I'll try my best. I'll create new things. I will do something different, because what you have until now that is the same, you get the same result. So I try to do something different to get different results. Or even if I say the same thing and I have talent or for something else that I don't know yet, I can try it and at least I learn from, as you said. But if it's not, I achieve something bigger than expected. So for me, is that positive thought of, yes, I will try my best always. I won't give energy for something else that I know that I don't want to do. For example, my father wants me to do graduation. And I was like, yes, I can do, but it's not for me. I don't want to do. I know what I want to do. I want to work with them. That's what I want to do. So I won't do dentistry because it's something that you want me to do and spend energy. I like dentistry a lot, but I will spend energy like separating energy dance and energy on dentistry. I can put all the energy on dance and then I start like have more results because I'm giving like 100% of myself on it. Like my attention, my energy, my efforts in one thing. So it's powerful. So once you get your own goal, you've put on the energy just in that direction, you achieve things that you even think that you can achieve. So for me, it's basically like this. Just go straight on what you want and what you believe. Put the energy on it, effort, and just go for it.
So to add something, I like to travel in my brain, with my mind. And then maybe we had this thought because we are from this small city. So as you said, we are not from São Paulo or Rio that is so advanced in terms of dance. So maybe we thought this way in the beginning. Actually, we are the first, we are the third dancers that go shoot around the world after you. And then me and Cibele, we thought a lot about this. Cibele, we need to believe in us more because we are so good. We like our philosophy or methodology. So after this, we start to thinking, oh, let's create our methodology. Let's create our idea, our classes. And then after this, we start to grow more. The people call us, would like to do this class for us. And then it's better. That's it. We have all the things in our hands. So let's do it and believe in this because the same thing that happened with Cibele about family things and other stuffs. My family told me about this. Okay, you dance now, but you will dance all your life. Yes. And then actually my brain and my mind, I would like to say, yes, for sure. I would love to do this because it's my dream. I would like to travel in the world. And another part of my family, Pedro, keep doing this. We are with you. So let's do this together. So it's a mix. So it's exactly this. Believe in this, study, create your history in the dance life. So we are this way for sure.
Nice. And I have one last question that I would really like to know from you guys. If you guys already found out what your work preferences are, like what is the thing that you like to do the most? You like the congress, you like the festival, you like the weekender, you like the regular class? What is that you like the most? I want to share a little bit of how it was for me, for example, because I spent 4 years in the US, just traveling domestically in the US. But I would always go back to DC to teach during the week. And then this last year, I traveled around the world teaching on the weekends and stuff like that. And then I realized each weekend on a city thing, this festival thing, this congress thing, definitely not for me. I really love the weekender. I really love to have my regular class. I miss my regular classes so much. So I needed to travel the world to find out my preference, and now I know that my joy is in the weekender, is in the regular class. I like a festival here and there just to like give a boost, like this chaotic vibe a little bit, just to change it up things. But my love is in the weekend. So I love to hear from you guys. Did you find out what do you like more?
So for me, actually, we are in this moment to travel around the world to show us because it's so new for us. And then we really like to know new places. So we like to travel to know the places, the culture and the communities. So This is so new for us, so we are in this moment. But for me, if I want to choose the perfect moment, the perfect job is this. I would like to come back to regular classes too, because for me, this way that you can construct to build a methodology with the student, and then as we are teacher, we know what happened, what works to the students. Both. If I want to choose, I would like to stay 1 month in one place and then travel. Yes, in the minimum 1 month, because we can building this idea to the students, not only 1 hour, 2 hours, or I don't know, 6 hours. It's so short time that you can building something, but okay. So for me, if I want to choose, I would like to choose this. 1 month in one place, 1 month in another place. Yes, it's different for us because we live in Brazil. So for us, it's so hard to travel to another places here. Funny thing, because different in other countries like to invite us more than Brazil. I don't know why, but it's happened, and we need to die in this situation. So I would like to choose this. It's good for me because, and then I can mix and balance this traveling, know a new cultures and new commodities, and put our philosophy to the students.
Yeah, for me, it's like the same that Gui said before. The big congress, 1,000 classes at the same time, 3 socials happen at the same time, a lot of people. You don't really get in touch as I like to be, you know? So for me, the weekender is a good way to work. Regular classes too. It's because I like to have contact with my student and to build up in a place that I know the name of this student, you know? I don't know. At the social, I can hello and say his name or her name and call to dance. And not in a festival like a huge one that you're talking on the microphone on stage and it's a lot of people, and then you just get back contact after the class, and then this people like disappear in the social because you never see them again because it's so huge, so big. So for me, I get like more cozy vibe, like familiar on weekenders and regular classes that I can talk with my student. I can know his name. I can, you know, participate in somehow of his life in some point. So I like to work on weekenders and small festivals and regular classes. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I think it really
challenge
depends. Sorry.
myself too in this big congress, because then I just pick like the small time that I have, like this little time that I have to really get into the teachers or the organizers, because there's a lot of students. So it's different focus during this event. So yeah, it's different.
Yeah, I think it really depends on what feeds you. Is it the attention that you get on social media, on huge classes and clapping and all of that? Or is it the human connection that you make with people? And I'm not going to say that there's a right and a wrong one. I think there's a right and a wrong one for you. If you're just doing Congress, and you're just not happy, maybe try to switch it up. But if you're doing only local work and it's not making you happy, try to switch it up, because we all crave different things. I think as a group here, you're probably going to agree with me that we all very similar in that sense, that we're all looking for the human connection more than the clapping and the views and everything like that. I am actually very awkward when people are like cheering and saying my name or something like that. It's something that through therapy, I'm still working on accepting that, because for me, I'm much more like that person to person versus.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think we can all agree now that therapy is important. So people do therapy, find a therapy.
Go over therapy.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy to travel around the world. It's not fancy, okay? It's very hard. You don't have anyone besides your partner to hug you when you need, if you're sad or if you're happy and you want to celebrate, or if you want to cry in, you know, in your bed during the night, and you just don't have no one with you except your partner. So it's not easy. You need to talk with someone to, you know, look inside and work on it. So therapy is good. Please do it, everyone.
Go to therapy, people.
Go to therapy.
Please, for
us.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, dance is one way that we treat ourselves, because dance does show a lot of the things that we have to deal with, but dance is not a replacement for therapy. I think that's a big thing, because I think there's a myth like, oh, dance is my therapy. No. I think dance just helps you see what you actually need to work on in therapy.
Yes. Therapy is therapeutical, but not therapy in itself.
Not a replacement.
And as in dance, you are like in touch with a lot of people that don't do therapy. You do therapy to know how to handle this work, and to deal with them. So it's very important.
Yeah. I think it's important that we, all 5 of us here, having this same opinion. Yeah. My therapist recently said something really interesting about this life of traveling, is that it rewires your brain in a very interesting way, that you get really used to pressing a reset button. Your brain is constantly resetting the button, because every new place you go, it's a new bed, it's a new bathroom, it's a new shower, it's a new key to get into the door. Next week, new bed, new shower. So you'll get really good at resetting, which makes you really bad at relationships and attachments. So something really important, just leaving here the cliffhanger for next episode.
Yes.
But there was something really powerful that I heard very recently from a therapist, and like, oh my God, that's why I'm fucking up so much.
My reset button is not working that well.
My reset button is working too well.
Autopilot. It's autopilot. When you spend too long with somebody or in one place, you're already like, oh my God, I need to move. I need to move.
Yeah. And that thing that Pedro said, let's spend 1 month in each place, is actually amazing, because you reset less. You're able to establish yourself a little bit more. So, good point.
Yeah, you are human beings, not machines, So we need this time to understand how they studied work in this location, that location, actually. So we don't have only this truth. So we need to understand. We need this time to understand. Oh, I will use this methodology or this way, this knowledge. So that's it. I like this.
Yeah.
Amazing, guys.
I want to just finish my thought about all this podcast, because I think it's important.
Okay.
To who is listening to it, the thing that I want to just make sure that it will be clear is, to achieve the goal that you want, you need to be kind with people, not just a good dancer, not just spin 1,000 times or doing acrobatic things or performatic. You need to be a good teacher, a good person, a good friend, a good professional, and you're not a machine. This is important too. You don't have to dance the whole socio and the next day your body's like in pain and you're having like private classes, and the other day you have another socio and you spend the whole socio there because you need to spend the whole time there. So you're not a machine. Just take your time, just do breaks and enjoy to the student conversations, talks, chat, everything. So believe in yourself, believe in your journey, be a kind person, be a good teacher, and that's it. Just believe in the process and keep going. That's it.
Amazing. Beautiful.
Amazing, guys. Well, I think we can end with this beautiful summary today here. And we want to thank you so much for being our guests in this beautiful episode. 2 episodes, actually. So thank you so much, guys. It's been a pleasure. And personally, to me, it's been really something very special, because we came from the same place, from the same city, from the same community, the same schools. So when we were thinking about having you guys in this podcast, I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be happier that also Gui and Adayl were on board with this. So thank you. And where can people find you if they want to follow you on the webs and the social medias?
On the internet.
That's right. Pedro E. Pedro E. Cibele. On Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, everything, Facebook, just Pedro E. Cibele.
So much, guys, for inviting us. We love. It's amazing talk with you. It's really like to talk about this. I love the title ZoukNerds because I'm considering myself ZoukNerds.
You're in the family now. You can have your own badge of ZoukNerds badge.
And then to finish, I love to participate
Yes.
because I follow you guys in pandemic and then help me a lot to follow you and then to hear you,
Thank
you
you.
know. I really like to be here. So thank you so much.
Nice.
All right. So thank you so much. Thank you, Gui. Thank you, Adayl.
See you
Just
soon,
like-
guys.
Thank you. Beijos, beijos. Abraços.
Bye.
And see you guys on the next episode of ZoukNerds. See you then.